Welcome back to Film Topic, folks, an online weekly show where we basically discuss a vast range of movie and television topics. Have you got that? Huh? Have you got that?
That's absolutely smashing.
Yeah. We're coming down hard on this episode. We're coming at you.
This is an ambitious one, I think.
Yeah, very ambitious because today, as the title suggests, what is the best Avengers movie?
That's right. We're going to discuss every Avengers movie, what we think of them, what's great about them, and which one ultimately is the best one.
And it's as simple as that.
Or it's simple for this guy.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it's not so simple. It's going to be like choosing between children that I hold dear so much. You know what I mean? This is hard for me. So, it's a challenge. I like a challenge.
There. He's accepted the challenge. So, let's get talking. Right, get music going. Cue the music. Right, Avengers Assemble. No, I meant like... I meant put the music on the video, you tool. Cue the correct music this time. Right, Avengers Assemble, here we go. This is gonna verse Age of Ultron. Right, we already know which is better. Assemble, do you agree?
I concur.
Alright, you can concur, whatever that word means. Okay, so that's out the picture. Right, so it's basically Assemble versus the Endgame. Or Infinity War. Well, let's just drop the music here because we all know that it's going to be Infinity War and Endgame. So it's basically Infinity War versus Endgame.
Okay, so we're dropping Avengers Assemble and Age of Ultron out of this entirely.
Yeah, because we already pretty much know that it's either going to be Infinity War
or
Endgame. It's like choosing, you say, between children, but it's twins.
Yes, exactly.
So sorry if this title is a little bit misleading, but then again, we are choosing the best Avengers movie.
Okay, so alright. Right, so we can agree. Avengers Assemble is better than Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we got that. And then Avengers Assemble, well, it's not anywhere near as good as Infinity War or Endgame.
But it's still an amazing film.
Exactly.
I think we can still talk about it and compare back from Infinity War to like the first movie, the first Avengers movie, because of how far the characters are coming developed. And like it's all about changes in it. The characters have all changed. The plot lines have got far more interesting. It's just a continuation, isn't it?
Yeah,
this MCU is, how many films has it got now, Aaron?
23.
Well, this kid knows exactly because he's an ultimate fan. It says 23 films, so the characters have just continued to develop constantly. So we can talk about a couple of things.
Yeah, we'll preface that I don't know about you, but I still love Avengers 1 and Avengers Age of Ultron. It's just Infinity War and Endgame are just the ultimate.
So if this was like a listing kind of video, which I know it isn't, but we can definitely say that Age of Ultron is at the bottom.
Yeah, Age of Ultron is easily the worst Avengers.
It's got some flaws. It's got a few flaws, isn't it?
I still enjoy it. I can watch it over and over again. It's just it's not as smooth story wise or narratively as Avengers 1, and you've got some forced things in there that are really trying to set up the future of the MCU more so than Avengers 1 was.
But it set up for the Endgame and stuff, so come on, that's a win in my books.
But still, I mean, Avengers Age of Ultron planted important seeds for Infinity War and Endgame, so
we can say it worked out in the end.
Especially nice little callbacks in Endgame to Age of Ultron that I really appreciated as well.
I did like Ultron, but not as much as Loki. But nothing compares to Thanos.
I actually think Ultron is a very underrated villain. He's not as good as Loki, but I actually think Ultron is a very underrated villain. And people tend to dislike him because he's too humorous, he's too comical, he's too witty. But to me, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, Tony Stark created him, and he's developed some of Tony Stark's sort of personality quirks. Being witty is one of them, and I thought he went well with the character and the way that.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it worked, but it's not the best.
He's not the best villain, but I think he's underrated. I don't think he's a bad villain like a lot of people make him out to be. But Age of Ultron still has great stuff in it.
Yeah, it's got some great moments.
It's got great moments, amazing action as usual. Joss Whedon directed the shit out of this movie.
Really, really good. And Assemble, of course. Well, everybody loves a good origin story. They all get together.
Avengers is
Assemble.
Just
oh yeah, it's still a classic. In fact, that's commonly played on TV. So.
It is. The first Avengers is an absolute classic. It's so rewatchable. It's just a lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle. What a phrase!
It is. It's lightning in a bottle. You've got
Pay that Quicksilver
Oh, that's Age of Ultron. Again, Age of Ultron
was cut short.
I don't even think Quicksilver was bad in that film. I actually liked him.
He was all right.
The Russian accents were a bit meh. And Wanda's
See
totally...
what I mean? This is what I was talking about earlier. Though. It's got a few flaws, but they're not major flaws, though, are they?
No, I preface this. I just think it's a great movie, Age of Ultron. But Avengers 1 is just... It's weird, because even now when I watch Avengers 1 back, I still get that satisfaction of... I still get that feeling that I got when I first saw these characters interacting for the first time.
When they all came together. So basically, for example, where Thor meets Iron Man in the forest, we watch that, it's like, oh my god.
It's one of the best fight scenes. That's one of the best fight scenes in the MCU.
Really listening to photography, and it's interesting to watch these characters just... It's like they don't get along, and it's great, and like how they come so far now compared to Endgame and Infinity War, like... It's just it's crazy.
It is. You still get that same satisfaction and feeling of what, like the first time these characters meet. It's almost as if I'm watching it for the first time again every time I watch it. Do you know?
I know exactly.
Every
what
time
you mean.
these characters first meet, when Tony first meets Cap, when Tony first meets Thor in one of the best fight scenes in the MCU, when we get the introduction of Bruce Banner as Hulk and Mark Ruffalo's amazing performance as Bruce Banner.
I'm always angry.
Yeah, there's just... People might argue that it's a bit dated, because when you watch it back, not much actually happens.
Yeah, like besides that scene what's that ship called? I forgot the name.
The helicarrier.
Yeah, that helicarrier. I think that's a well remembered scene.
Like
one of the best scenes in the movie.
70% of the film takes place on that helicarrier, and it's just them talking about stuff, which is I think
that's good though, because it has all these interactions and. We can root for them characters down the line.
They've got such great chemistry together, and
it's great though, isn't it? How they don't get along.
Exactly.
I know it's a bit cliche, but the heroes don't get along at first, and
then the team up.
Yeah, they've got to work together. Then it all works out in the end. And Loki gets a good battering off Thor, which is come on, that's Ray's favourite scene.
Yeah, a good battering off Hulk and Thor. The thing is, it is like a cliche thing to happen at first. Like say they don't get on, and then they team up at the end to take down the bad guys, but. The thing is, the chemistry between them all is so good.
Yeah.
And their personalities are so different to each other, and they contrast so well.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch the movies beforehand and you're seeing how they're they're interacting with each other. You could just watch them in a room talking all day.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have it
interesting. It's like a Tarantino film. You can make the most simplest things sound like amazing.
You could just have the entire movie.
So interesting.
Entire movie just them in a room talking.
Yeah.
And it'd just be great. And then to top it off, you've got all that, and then you've got the third act,
the ultimate climax,
the final battle of the first Avengers, which is still to this day one of the best final acts in the entire MCU.
It makes the entire movie worthwhile after all the characters talking together for a while.
It's breakneck pace. It just goes 100 miles an hour as soon as they're in New York.
It goes like a rocket. It goes up.
Unlike Age of Ultron, where there's certain moments where the story sort of comes to a halt to sort of set up Infinity War and Endgame. In the first Avengers, it sets things up clearly, but the story doesn't come to a halt for it. It has a satisfying beginning, middle, and an end.
Yeah. Even in that final battle of Age of Ultron, even that's just glorifying and satisfying to watch. It's just really great.
Yeah. You got some of the best.
Some of the best cinematography, like when Cap does like a twirl in the air.
Yeah, like the shot of all the heroes in Age of Ultron taking on all the
shield, and then you got like Iron Man flying across. It's just. There's so much going on. There's so much thought and care put into these movies. It's fantastic. It's great.
But ultimately, as much as we love,
as much as we love these films, it for me.
They do not compare, for me anyway, to Infinity War and Endgame.
No, I can agree. On it. They don't compare to Infinity War and Endgame because them films are like on another level.
What's extraordinary about this is when the first Avengers came out. You knew that there was going to be more films. You knew that there was going to be more Avengers sequels. You're like, they'll come together again. But I think people were thinking, as I said before, the first Avengers is a lightning in a bottle. I thought that they were going to think, everybody would have thought that this is going to be a one-off. Yeah, they'll make more, but ultimately they won't capture the magic, and ultimately be as good as the first Avengers because that was a once in a lifetime thing. It's the first time it's ever happened, and you're not going to get that sort of feeling in a movie again. But somehow. With Infinity War and Endgame, they managed to top it. They managed to top it, like more than ever. You don't know how they do it. It's just amazing that they managed to top themselves every time.
It's just oh my god. So Avengers Assemble is pretty much this on a high level there. The Age of Ultron dips down a bit with its pace a bit.
About there.
Yeah.
Then Infinity War and Endgame. Like way up here.
Yeah, my God. Oh, like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, all this character development has been building up to this. They've had so many movies, and with all these, like the characters all have this history, and they're just when they come across Thanos, this great threat that's been.
Thanos being built up through all the movies.
It's
coming to a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
And like the fear that during the build up for all these movies, you had the after credit scene of Avengers 1, and then you had him appearing briefly in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Age of Ultron was setting him up, and you were thinking, right, they're quite easily setting themselves up to fail here.
Yeah.
Because MCU aren't known for having great villains.
Yeah, that's true.
And
so they've got some very weak villains. They've got a few good ones.
Yeah, they've got a few good ones, you know. But up to that point, you know, they weren't known for having great villains, and Thanos was being built up through all this time to be.
It's like they've learned the lesson. It's like, you know what, as not too cracking. Let's just turn up the amplifier to max. Yeah. So
let's not have Thanos be like Malekith from
in fact,
Thor the
they
Dark
kind
World.
of overdid it really. Like, the film could be practically called Thanos Infinity War.
Good. This thing that everybody says, and it's true.
It's
the film Thanos.
It's just so true.
The film follows Thanos.
The film is just so about him and his journey, and it bleeding works. It works so well.
It's the only way it was gonna work.
Yeah.
With there being this many characters.
Yeah, like the entire
in
cast.
this movie. Infinity War is just the ultimate comic book crossover film event. Like this is it was such an experience. It was Infinity War
mind-boggling.
and Endgame was an event, and Infinity War especially because obviously you knew all these characters had been in it. I mean, obviously, the third act of Endgame you get that same thing like 10 times more than you do in this. But all the characters in this movie, like you couldn't have told it from any other perspective without it being a mess.
Yeah.
Unless you told it from Thanos' perspective, because all the characters in this, I don't think there's ever been this many characters in a film before. This many main characters.
It's such an achievement, and also in terms of history in cinema, it's just outstanding. Like, come on, it's like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Like, Endgame is now the highest grossing movie.
Well deservedly so.
Yeah, well, I would say well deserved. It's going to take it. We knew it was eventually, and it did.
It needs to take over Avatar.
It's like a milestone in film. It's brilliant.
Thanos he was better than anybody could have anticipated.
Yeah.
He was menacing. You understood his motivation. Josh Brolin was just absolutely mind-blowing.
And to say all these characters, because they've got so many of them, and they all have their own little story arcs woven into the main plot line. It wasn't actually confusing, was it?
No, it wasn't.
They kept it rather simple and clear, which I like that, because for a casual viewer watching it, because of how simple it is, they kept it simple. It's great for a casual viewer.
Yeah, it's a simple story.
And I'm saying simple always works better with me, I say.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want a complex story. As much as it sounds complex, having all these characters and their own stories, they kept it nice, They kept it nice and simple. Sweet, simple.
I'm interested to know what it would be like for someone who had never watched an MCU movie before to watch Infinity War and Endgame.
See, I didn't watch Thor and stuff like prior to that, like Ragnarok. So at the beginning of Infinity War, I was like, what's happening? And that is actually like one of my major criticism on like the MCU is that you kind of do have to watch
a lot of them to
understand what's going on, and like you just won't get some of it. Like if you do watch them like after the like a comic book series, then of course you clearly understand what they're going through. Whereas I didn't. I was like, okay, what's this scene? Where is this? Why is he doing there? Was he there in the past film? I mean, it kind of works. Like for someone who hasn't gone in, they would have watched it. I think they would have enjoyed it anyway.
I think people who had never watched it, they could enjoy Infinity War. It's just obviously because with all the characters in this film, like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, like Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody, they're all in this movie and they all play important roles, but they do not get much screen time. Like,
how could they have done it?
Exactly, they don't get much screen time, so there's not much room for. I mean, there is like character development between some characters, but there isn't like room for much of that because obviously they don't get a lot of screen time. So obviously, if you've never watched an MCU movie before, watching this, you're just watching these people that you don't really know stopping this big purple guy, trying to stop this big purple guy. But it's non-stop. Like, this film is 100 miles an hour from the opening scene.
Yeah, I got so much stuff to get through. It's like bang this point, bang that point.
Yeah, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. It just doesn't like.
And it's the end, and it's the dust.
As soon as the film starts, it's just moving at 100 miles an hour, and it just doesn't stop.
It's a non-stop train.
It's non-stop action from the very opening scene all the way to the end, and that is what makes this film so rewatchable.
So it's a non-stop train that just keeps going from the beginning to the film to the end, where they all turn to dust, and it leads on to our next film, Endgame, which is also, it's just, this is perfection.
Perfection.
Just like Infinity War, it's perfection. It's a completely different film in terms of how they set up the characters, because it was set up in Infinity War. It's got a completely different structure to it, and it works really well.
The Infinity War and Endgame are perfect companion pieces because, as we said with Infinity War, that's Thanos' movie. Thanos is the main character.
Yeah.
All the focus is primarily on Thanos. Avengers Endgame is the total opposite end of that. This follows the Avengers.
Yeah.
Following their defeat in Avengers Infinity War, because spoiler alert, Thanos snapped his fingers.
Too late, he's said it, and if you haven't watched it, well, it's your own fault, because you should have watched it, because it's a great film.
I don't know who hasn't watched these.
Yeah, because, come on, if it's made $1 billion, I'm sure millions of people are going to see it. So
exactly, so.
Hopefully it's okay, but if we did spoil it, well, sorry.
Could have put a spoiler, big warning.
Yeah, maybe so.
But yeah, complete opposite end. This is about the Avengers following their defeat, like coping with it.
Like the internal struggles that each character's gone through. Like Thor just completely overdone himself. He completely let himself go. It's just so unexpected.
What they did with Thor was unexpected. It divided some people. Some people weren't massively keen on what they did with Thor in this movie. I personally liked what they did with Thor. I thought it was a good bit of character development because, if you were Thor and you were ultimately kind of responsible for half the universe going.
Every Thor film's a bit different though, isn't it?
Doesn't mean every film Thor is different. You're
always changing. He's like there's like a risky character that always changes, but the changes I think that are for the best because I think it works.
I know, if you watch Thor,
it's so contrasting.
Seeing Thor from his first movie to like Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame.
Which video did I say I didn't like Thor? So yeah, in the refusing to watching Captain Marvel video, I said I don't like Thor that much. Well, you see, after watching Infinity War and Endgame, I like the character a lot more. See, his character in Thor 1 in The Dark World is, it's just alright. It's like I say, it's just an alright character, but I can give or take. Then I did finally watch Ragnarok. Yes, I did.
Yes,
I finally did.
I
thought it was actually the best Thor film. I thought it was a good film.
It's actually,
I don't know if I would watch it again anytime soon, but I didn't really enjoy it.
It's easily the best Thor movie.
It's really entertaining, and they've taken his character to a whole new level. And that's just one example.
Yeah, I know.
We could go on and on.
So
with Captain America,
totally unexpected.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, totally unexpected what they did with Thor because they just hit it. Like you didn't know. You just thought it was going to be normal short hair Thor.
Yeah.
And then obviously stuff we did with Cap and Black Widow, specifically they're struggling to move on.
Yeah, so this film's all about the struggle, and we all know it's gonna be the final conclusion. Like we all know, like someone's gonna clip their fingers and snap them all back from the people that was turned to dust.
The thing is, like the opening of this movie where they kill Thanos, like you're thinking, where can they go from there?
Yeah, that was unexpected.
When that all happened,
that was just like out of nowhere. I thought they was gonna build up and come back and hit him hard at the end, but that's just. He just sat down in his little house, isn't it? He just sat down,
making himself some dinner.
Yeah, I've done my job. I think I'll have a big cook up here, a big fry up. He's there cooking, and Thor just comes in and goes, "Yeah, right, I've avenged it."
Captain Marvel just gives him in a headlock. Thor comes, chops his arm off. So brutal.
That's before saying that the stones are destroyed.
And obviously, before you watch this film, you didn't know the whole time travel thing was going to be in it. I mean, there was rumors and everybody sort of speculated.
Theories of the quantum realm.
But you didn't know for sure.
Didn't get it out.
You didn't know for sure. So I remember watching this. You were like, "Shit, they've killed him. What's going to happen here?" And then you've got the time jump, the 5 year later time jump. Did not expect that whatsoever.
Nope.
And then from there, it's just like this is where you see the kind of character, the character sort of motivations and coming through. Because like I said before, you've got Cap. He's struggling to move on, but he's actually
got a big payoff, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good payoff.
He's struggling to move on, but he's actively trying to. He's got the therapy group where he's helping people who are struggling to cope.
He's always still helping
events,
people,
and he's still trying to help people, even though he's struggling to move on himself. Black Widow obviously struggling to move on. She can't get over this. And then you've got Tony, who, to be honest, with the way he reacts at the end of Infinity War, you wouldn't have expected him to move on.
Yeah,
but in this, I'd say that. He accepted the defeat. He moved on, and he started a family with Pepper.
So the way that it plays out in the end, that we ultimately knew that someone was going to do the snap, and to my shock, and to yours, and probably to everyone watching the cinema, it was done off screen. I thought we were going to get the snap with all the heroes come back. That never happened.
Do you mean when Hulk snaps his fingers and you don't see everybody appear again? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm on about the ultimate ending. But yeah, that was a good scene there, where it did ultimately fail. I mean, that was like a really big fail for them, isn't it?
I'm scared. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
Hawkeye. Yeah, he snaps off screen.
He doesn't snap off screen. What do you mean he snaps off screen?
Hawkeye, he snaps his finger off screen. They all come back. He did the snap.
No, he didn't.
What?
Hulk snapped his fingers.
That never happened.
Hulk got the gauntlet and snapped.
Yeah, there's 3 snaps, isn't there? There's 3 snaps. Okay. Hold on. So, Hulk snaps his finger, doesn't work.
It does work.
What have you watched?
Hulk snaps his fingers? This will be great timing when we're debating it. Hulk snaps his fingers?
I'm sure.
Right?
Hawkeye gets it. Like that, doesn't
he runs with it. He doesn't snap his fingers.
I'm sure it happened off screen. I can't remember.
No, he didn't snap his fingers.
Alright, pause this. We'll settle this. Okay. Bear in mind, I've only seen this movie once since the cinema. This guy's watched it 9 times and he did correct me. I completely forgot that, well, I didn't forget. I just kind of got a bit mixed up. That scene where Hawkeye is running with the gauntlet because they're trying to I thought they were going to try and snap it to get everyone back or something. And, so when Doctor Strange turns up, I thought, well, someone snapped his fingers off screen, when in fact, actually, it was Hulk, wasn't it?
It was Hulk snap. It worked. It's just they didn't arrive straight away.
Yeah, that's why I got mixed up.
So
maybe at the cinema, maybe I was like, oh my god, they're going to come back soon. But then, because you reminded me off camera that Hawkeye gets a phone call saying his wife is back.
Right after Hulk snaps his finger, yes.
Yeah, so I probably was aware of it. But then leaving him, because it was the midnight show, weren't we? We went to the midnight show.
It was the midnight show.
So I must have woke up and completely got it wrong. I feel like a right idiot now.
Oh, don't worry, that's why I'm here. Ultimately, I think what will will decide will be the deciding factor into whether people prefer Infinity War or Endgame is going to be the story and how it's paced.
Yeah, definitely.
Because how we said about Infinity War from the opening, that's just non-stop. Breakneck. Yeah. It's paced perfectly, and it's just non-stop action, and it's just, it moves so smoothly, like narrative-wise. Endgame is much slower, and it's much, it takes more time to just deal with. It's like
a nice build-up.
It's a nice contrast.
It's a nice contrasting build-up to this great battle when Hulk snaps his fingers, and the all Avengers just when that comes back, that scene. It just lights everything up, doesn't it?
The third act of this movie, the final battle, is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It goes on for like 40 minutes, doesn't it? Something like that. It goes on for such a long time. It is great.
I think the entire last hour is just the third act.
Yeah.
Which, when you're watching it, it does not feel like that at all. The final battle of this film is the greatest thing that I've seen in my life. I'm not even kidding. But
well, that's why it's number 1 of the highest grossing movies, my friend. Yeah. So, in a brief summary, how was the ending? Let's give this guy a challenge. Sum it up in 3 words.
Hard, cock, jizz.
Because I was going to go fucking absolutely amazing, but kind of absolutely fucking at the same things.
Ultimately, you know which one you prefer.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately how paced it is, because obviously Infinity War was just non-stop action from like the first shot. Endgame is more slower paced. It's a bit more. It's not a drag, because I don't think it drags, but some people think. I've heard people say that think it drags at some points. But that's.
I suppose if you were to watch it again, and if they say to you, well, okay, what film do you want to watch? Because it's out now on Blu-ray, and do you want to watch Endgame or Infinity War? What would you pick?
And
Got him.
this is the this is too soon to say.
Yeah, you have to wait to the end, guys.
Yes. But it has to be that way because this is ultimately the characters dealing with their emotional state.
They need the time to build these characters back up from the ground. But the thing though that puts like a spanner in the works and speeds the pace up is the time travel.
Yes, this film is split into three like really distinctive acts. You got the first act, which is the characters, dealing with the loss of Infinity War and coming to grips with everything. The second act is obviously the whole time heist.
Yeah,
thing,
time heist.
The whole
out of nowhere.
The whole
absolutely brilliant.
The whole compilation, sort of the best of the MCU revisited, kind of.
Yeah, revisited little throwbacks and
throwbacks to
other things.
The first Avengers, Thor: The Dark
Cap
World,
vs Cap,
Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and Cap versus Cap 1 amazing. This time travel divides a lot of people because a lot of people pick it apart and say it doesn't make sense. They're like, oh, but time travel is this and this and that. But one thing that you got to give credit for is that while in real life, if time travel was possible, these rules wouldn't apply of time travel in this. At least they established their own rules.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time travel films might not establish any rules, so you can easily question it then. But at least they took the time to actually say, well, actually, our version of time travel works this way, and that's why this makes sense. So, you've got no reason
there
to
you
question
go.
it.
That's why it works.
Exactly. That's why you don't need to question it as much. People look trying to find plot holes. And you're like, but actually, they said in this in their universe it works this way.
Got you there.
So,
and then the third act.
Oh, the third act.
Yeah. Well, what a beauty! What a beauty!
This is all I've ever wanted from a film like this. From a film like
this. This is years and years of build up. Just waiting for this moment. This ultimate battle. Of this is the battle for the galaxy right here. This is like the ultimate superhero fight of all time.
This is the ultimate. This is the MCU saying this is what we're building up to.
Yeah.
This is what it is all about, and
here's this big ball of energy that we have.
And
this
third act made me cry. Tears of joy, tears of excitement. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, there's so many different emotions that this kid felt.
When Captain America wielded Mjolnir.
Oh,
holy Jesus. and then the moment where all of the heroes come back and they assemble all together. My goodness. What a moment. And I got all I ever wanted.
That's the thing. Would you agree though, as when the top scene where they all come back? That's the top. So the best scene of any Avengers movie is that act right there. Third act from Endgame.
The whole
nothing can compare to that
battle.
because of the build up. If it didn't have that build up, that'd be nothing. That would be nothing.
Ever since Infinity War and Endgame were announced, all I ever wanted was a shot of every single MCU hero stood together.
Yeah.
In one shot, ready to.
Maybe not one shot, but. You know what I mean? They're all there. They're all there. That's
they're all standing together. All of these heroes, the ones that haven't met before, the ones that have met before, all of them together in one shot. I was hoping for it in Infinity War. We didn't get it because all the heroes didn't meet. But we got what I wanted in Endgame.
See, that's another thing to compare right there.
Yeah.
We've got all these heroes working together, taking down Thanos, but in the first part
but Infinity War, they're all separate.
Yeah, they're all separate things, and actually they don't meet at all whatsoever. Yeah. So that's which one do you prefer? Do you prefer this one where they build up in different parts and they finally get together, or it stays separate in Infinity War? Because that's a completely different film with Thanos. Because we're going to say Thanos' story.
Ultimately, I think I'd probably say Endgame when they're all together on the same battlefield. Because while every single hero don't interact with each other, they're all there together. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I wanted, because you can't realistically have every single hero interact with every other hero. Do you know what I mean? In Infinity War, it was different because you had them all. They were all split into different groups. You had Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man with the Guardians, with some of the Guardians. You had Thor and Rocket in groups separate. You had Captain America, Bucky, and Black Panther, and all them together, following them all separately.
We're kind of just leaving Avengers Assemble and Age of Ultron in the dark, yeah?
I know. I mean, when you watch Avengers,
they were really good films,
when you watch Avengers Assemble and Avengers Age of Ultron, you're thinking, Jesus Christ! I didn't think they were going to bring in this many people, and like. It's
just insane, isn't it?
Because in Avengers 1. You got the iconic shot of the Avengers assembling for the first time. The rotating camera shot.
Yeah, that small little
them standing together.
Pan,
small little
all
pan.
the way around.
That was an iconic shot, and before Infinity War and Age of before Infinity War and Endgame came out, I was like, I want a shot like that, but with everyone.
On a huge scale.
With
the entire cast.
With everyone, with all the heroes, and we got it.
Yeah.
In Endgame, we got that long shot of all the heroes standing together, and Captain America shouts, "Avengers, assemble for the first time."
He's a big kid. We all big kids.
Oh my god!
Look at him.
Even the moment where they're charging at Thanos' army, and the camera like pans out, and you see them all like Spider-Man swinging, Iron Man flying, Doctor Strange flying, Captain America running, Thor running, all together. You see Ant-Man, for God's sake, Giant Man running, just like all of it. It was everything I wanted from a film like this. I've always wanted that.
The best climax.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't know how they're gonna possibly top this in future.
I don't think they ever can.
I don't know if they ever could either.
I think like they've reached their peak now, and they're not like a graph where it goes up and down.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like a graph, then like it's like a line. You know, it can't really.
The only way
it's not gonna go down. I mean, like superhero films are still trendy.
Yeah, they're still like the highest grossing films ever.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not gonna die anytime soon, and I think they're gonna make like millions and perhaps billions still, like more MCU movies, what are coming out. Like Doctor Strange Multiverse.
Yeah,
Madness of the Multiverse.
Yeah,
that film.
Multiverse of Madness.
I think that's gonna make a lot of money because I want to see it. But like,
yeah,
exactly.
Especially because Infinity War. I mean, Doctor Strange's film. Like people thought, yeah, this is all right. I mean, I love Doctor Strange, but people were like, oh, this is all right. But I think Infinity War really like made people love Doctor Strange.
Because he's
Doctor Strange had some awesome moments in Infinity War.
Doctor Strange even set up the title, so like people are always going, we're in the Endgame now, always referencing it. So come on.
As soon as he said that, people were like coming out the film, right? The next Avengers movie is going to be called Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
and the directors were like, no, it's not. You liars.
You liars. But the question is, though, which is the better film? That's the whole title of the video. So, well, we know that Assemble and Age of Ultron are definitely out of the question.
No, yes, it's none of those two. We love them, but it's none of those two.
For me, my favourite would be Infinity War. If someone said, which one do you want to watch, Infinity War or Endgame, I'd say Infinity War. But, however, though, I do think Endgame, I don't know, it's the thing, it's so close together. It really depends, because I don't know.
It comes down to rewatchability, doesn't it?
Yeah, for me it does, yeah.
So if they said, which would you rather, if we were just to randomly watch a movie?
I'd always say Infinity War.
Infinity War. I could see why, because Infinity War, like I say, it's fast-paced and it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's just an action non-stop.
It works, but then for that climactic battle at the end, though, that's the best scene. I kind of want to watch Endgame for that. So, would we say put it together, smash them together, 1 and 2, watch them both? cheat the question.
Just cheat, watch them both together like you're supposed to. That's it. They're both as good as each other.
We don't want to disappoint. We have to come to a decision here. We have to come to a mutual decision, Aaron. So we talked about all the films, briefly about number 1 and 2, but it all comes down to this: Infinity War or Endgame. Is this going to be an Infinity Endgame?
See, Infinity War and Endgame are my 2 favourite MCU movies, but the problem is
that's without a doubt, isn't it?
They constantly switch between 1 and 2.
Yeah,
constantly. I think for me right now, because of the satisfaction of it, I got what I wanted from it. I got everything I wanted, all in one package. It was just, amazing.
I can agree to that. So did I.
And if you followed the MCU for the entire time, for all these years, like if you're an MCU fan and you've been following it as it's been coming out and all that, I think I've got to give it to Endgame. Just a smidgen.
See, I'm the complete opposite here. But this is the thing: we've got to come to a mutual decision here. We can't just say, right, that's your favourite.
So you're saying Infinity War, I've said
this is what you think. This is the best. This is what I think is the best. We can't do that. We've got to come and meet in the middle.
We've got to agree on which is ultimately the best film.
Well, this is going to be tough, isn't it, mate?
Okay, right.
Okay.
Well, Okay, so if we want to try and decide which is ultimately the best, we've got to get our personal opinions out of it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
If we want to decide which is ultimately the best one, I think now we've got to take our personal opinions aside and decide which is objectively
the best.
The best movie, which is well paced, the best, which is the
better
film.
I think Infinity War's got the pacing. It's got the best setup. It's got a nice payoff. In fact, to say it's a sad ending, it was very satisfying. So I think as an overall movie, it works so well. But then again, it does leave you wanting just to continue it on.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It doesn't feel like the story is full, whereas Endgame completes that. So this is like when we say like which is the best Avengers movie, it's kind of like 3 and 4, because it was filmed as one, wasn't it? Essentially, it was one film, and it clearly shows.
I suppose what could contribute to this is the fact that Avengers: Infinity War, you had all the core Avengers, like the main Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk.
Yeah.
They were all separated. So, you didn't really get your core Avengers team in that film together. In Avengers Endgame, you had the reuniting of the proper Avengers team, as well as added additions like Ant-Man and all that. So I think that could contribute to ultimately, for me, which is probably, the better one, because Avengers Infinity War it's an Avengers movie, but it's more of a Thanos movie, but the Avengers weren't fully together, they weren't assembled. In Avengers Endgame, they properly assembled, they were all together again, and they would ultimately, it was them trying to take down Thanos together. It's a really hard one.
I know, it's like just there.
Didn't anticipate this to be so hard, did you?
Well, let's just say slap man in the middle. 3 and 4 are the best. You can't have one without the other, can you? Really? It's as simple as that. Thank you for watching, folks. This has been the Film Topic with me.
What false advertising.
False advertising. Honestly, though, you can't have one without the other.
No, you can't really, can you?
You can't. As simple as that.
Okay, we'll just leave it as you say Infinity War.
Yeah.
I say Endgame.
Yeah, it'll just go on forever.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that, I suppose.
Slap it in the middle. You can't have one without the other. But personally, for you, it would be Endgame. For me, it'd be Infinity War. Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Yeah, give some debates on which one you think.
Yeah, because it is a really tough question. We can't just decide here and there, because this video would go on for like 3 or 4 hours.
So, yeah. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. It's actually finally we did somewhat of a review and talked about films.
Yep.
Can you believe it?
Finally, we succeeded with something on the channel for once.
No.
What an achievement.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already for more content.
And hit that bell so you don't miss a video.
Exactly. I'm grateful.
Alright. Bye.